The slap didn't sting much, honestly. It was the hush that crashed down afterward that really gut-punched me. The room turned to ice, everybody's faces locked in shock. My son's mouth hung open, confusion swirling in his eyes. My daughter's gaze went wide, teetering on the edge of fear but not quite there yet. They were too young to grasp the venom in those words, the kind that sank deep. You're not even their real dad. You just adopted those kids. The pain didn't hit right away. It slithered in later, burrowing under my skin, a slow burn I refused to let show. I brushed my cheek, feeling the warmth where her hand had smacked me, and I grinned. Not because it was funny or because I was stunned, but because I'd been waiting. Not for a slap, mind you, but for something. A chip in the perfect little facade they'd all been wearing way too long. I turned to my sister-in-law, her face flushed, her chest puffing like she hadn't meant to spill it but couldn't stuff it back in. "Well, since you're throwing shade," I said, my voice calm, steady, "let's talk." That was it. Dinner was done. Nobody touched their plates. Forks didn't clink. My wife, oh, she glared at me like I'd sprouted claws. Her dad suddenly found the floor tiles fascinating. Her mom mumbled some excuse and bolted, never coming back. But my smile. It stuck. I'd earned it, and I wasn't finished. It all kicked off with a photo, some cheap, fuzzy snapshot I wasn't even looking for. I was just tidying up, digging through an old box of receipts, playing the part of the guy everyone conveniently ignored, the quiet one who saw everything. The picture wasn't dated, but I recognized the shirt. My shirt. One I'd misplaced years back and hadn't thought about since. But there he was, some guy wearing it, standing way too cozy with her. His hand rested on her hip, casual, like it belonged there. My wife. Maybe before we tied the knot, maybe after, who knows. Didn't matter. Her smile in that photo? It was different. Not the big, fake grin she flashed at family dinners. It was real, intimate, the kind she never tossed my way. Not on our wedding day, not when we brought the kids home from the hospital. My chest tightened, but it wasn't jealousy or even betrayal. It was just the start of knowing. The rest trickled in slow, like a leaky faucet you can't ignore. Whispers about her I overheard at gatherings. A contact in her phone saved under some random woman's name. Texts deleted just a tad too late. The way she froze when our daughter asked why her eyes were green when neither of us had green eyes. It wasn't one big aha moment. It was 1,000 tiny cuts, each one dripping suspicion. I didn't call her out, not yet. Instead, I started paying attention. I asked for the kids' birth records. Said it was for school paperwork. She didn't bat an eye, didn't ask why. Her smug confidence. It was almost insulting. 3 days later, I had the records. I spread them out on the kitchen table while the kids slept and she was out. Shopping, or maybe not. Blood types don't play games. Neither do dates. I started with our daughter, then our son. The math did the talking, unraveling everything. I went further. DNA tests, quiet-like. Swiped saliva from their discarded toothbrushes, mailed it off, no fuss, no drama. I didn't even hope the results would prove me wrong. Deep down, I already knew. Those 2 weeks waiting? I memorized them. The way she barely brushed against me anymore. The way her sister started eyeballing me at dinners, like I was a vase teetering on a shelf, ready to shatter. They knew something, or maybe they thought they did. They probably figured I'd lose it. But I wasn't mad. I was strategizing. That's scarier. When the envelope came, it was heavy. I locked myself in the study, ripped it open, and there it was. 2 files, 2 sets of results, 2 big fat zeros for biological connection. I wasn't their dad, not by blood. But I'd been there from the jump. Every fever, every bad dream, every scraped knee, every parent-teacher meeting, every hospital dash, every birthday cake, every bedtime story. That paper said I wasn't their father. But I knew I was. I didn't storm out and confront her right then. Nah, I bided my time. Waited for the next family dinner, when her sister had won too many Chardonnays and let the truth slip out like it was her moment to shine. I waited for that slap, for those words to tumble out of someone else's mouth, loud and ugly enough to sting everybody in the room. especially right where it hurt the most and it happened, didn't it? Like a bomb wrapped in a sneer, right in front of the whole darn family. The next morning after, my wife put on her best crocodile tears. Oh, honey, she was plastered. She didn't know what she was blabbering about. She sobbed, batting her lashes like I'd fall for it. It's not true, babe, you gotta believe me. I let her ramble, then slid that envelope across the counter like it was a grenade with the pin pulled. Her hands trembled when she saw the lab's logo, her face going white like she'd seen a ghost. She didn't open it. She didn't need to. I know, I said, leaning back. I've known for a while, sweetheart. Her knees buckled and she crumpled to the floor, looking like a kid caught stealing cookies. I just watched, not moving, not comforting, not shedding a single tear. I raised them, I said, voice flat. Not him. Me. She tried to stammer something, but I raised a hand. Save it. No more lies. Her parents showed up that evening, probably thinking they could smooth it over with their usual nonsense. Her dad mumbled some half-baked apology. Her mom begged me to think of the kids. I listened, then stood, walked to the door and opened it. Get out. They blinked, confused. Not you, I said, staring at my wife. Her red-rimmed eyes locked on mine, her mouth quivering like she thought I'd cave. You said I'd do to the wrong guy, darlin'. I told her, my voice low. You just didn't figure it out till now. The kids. They're with me. She calls sometimes, whining into my voicemail. I don't pick up. She sends these long, sappy emails, probably thinking she can guilt me into forgiving her. I don't read 'em. Her sister. Vanished. Her parents. Same. Good riddance. There's no anger left in me, no sadness. Just quiet. Peace even. They weren't mine by blood, sure. But I made them mine. Every time I kissed a scraped knee, every time I chased away a nightmare, every time those little hands grabbed mine without a second thought, I was their dad. I am their dad. She tried to erase me with biology, but she forgot one thing. DNA doesn't teach a kid how to love. I did that. And now my kids know it. I raised someone else's children, and I did it better than that guy ever could have dreamed. Better than she ever deserved, with her snarky eye rolls and whatever attitude. And now, she gets to sit with that truth stewing in it forever.